What's up, guys? My name's Trevor, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about how to choose a niche. And I'm going to clickbait this title up a little bit. I don't know what it will be exactly, but we're talking about passion versus profit. I get this question all the time. People hit me up wanting to know what the best niche to publish in is, or what a hot keyword is, and it's a very difficult thing to answer. And I think the answer is going to vary from person to person. And so this is something we should discuss today. I've had some trouble recently thinking, like, okay, what do I want to make my personal brand in? Like, do I want to be an online marketing guy? Do I just want to talk about entrepreneurship? Do I want to talk about like personal development, like specifically for men? These are all passionate subjects for me, and it's often hard for me to make a decision if I want to just which one do I want to go into. I think it's a good time for us to kind of talk about this, and hopefully it will help you and maybe even help me too. Back in my early 20s, I was working out with a personal trainer. This guy named Ryan. Yeah, it is. He was like an amateur bodybuilder, and I wanted to get ripped. Like, everyone at some point probably wants to get ripped or like jacked. And I was working out with him. I had a full-time job, delivering like supplies, was driving around, and that took like 10 or 11 hours of my day every day. And like I was tired. So when I would come work out with him at night, I'd be drained. And then I'd get that workout in, lifting weights after running around all day. And I remember telling him, I was like, man, I hate this job. And I know that I want to be in business for myself, but I don't know what I should do yet. And the advice he gave to me, he got from his dad, and the advice is basically just do something and the pieces will come together. This means if you're trying to figure out what to do for a niche or in your life, don't just sit around thinking about it all the time. You want to take a calculated guess, which we'll talk about how to figure that out. And then after that, you need to execute. The guy who goes out there and is like, oh, okay, I think maybe this works, and they start working on a brand in that niche, and then he finds out later, that wasn't quite right, but the next one hits and it's his right niche, versus the guy who goes in and he's like, oh, I'm not sure what to do. Maybe this niche, maybe that niche. I'm just going to hold off. 3, 6 months, a year goes by. You run into that guy. He still hasn't done anything. The other guy, he made a mistake going into the first niche, and then he realized later what he was truly passionate about and what really works for him, and he got into that, and now he's got a thriving business. So what I'm saying is, you need to take action regardless. So you can't just sit around and think about it, or procrastinate on what niche you're going to work in. You need to take a calculated guess and then go all in, and the rest will figure itself out. The first approach is going purely off the numbers. If it's early days for you and you work a full time job and you just hate it and you just want to make money and escape, this might be a good option for you. You do your research. Maybe we're talking about publishing, like my background's in, or maybe we're talking about FBA. You do your research, you find a product or a topic or whatever that you can make money in. And that drive to get paid and to get away from your job and to have that freedom will motivate you enough to see that through. And you can go create a killer brand and make a bunch of money off that. So a lot of people approach it this way, and I have in the past as well. So in the short term, I don't think this is a bad approach, even though maybe it's not what I would recommend. But that hunger for freedom is going to push you through regardless of the topic if you can find something that will sell. So an approach number two would be going off something you're passionate about. That could be something like the wine behind me there. Wine, very popular topic. A lot of people want to learn about it and get into it. If you could wake up every day and be excited to talk about that wine, and you could be Trevor the wine guy or whatever your name is, then that's amazing. That's like a blend of something that is in high demand and also something you're passionate about. And in the long term, that's really going to pay and it's going to be a lot more fulfilling for you. If it was something smaller, like, I don't know, what's a small niche? Paper mache? Maybe it's big actually. I don't know. I haven't done the research. But if it was something smaller like that and you just loved it, I would still tell you in the long term, probably you want to be in that crafty niche and maybe you do paper mache, but you expand into other things. What I'm saying is that passion is more important than profit because you cannot sustain the profit thing forever. You will not be happy doing it. So try and blend the two. But if you need to start off and just do things for the money, then so be it. I've been there. And even though certain topics are in higher demand, like maybe things like self development or things related to money, there's something like 7.6 billion people in the world, and a lot of them have the internet. If you can find something that you're interested in, there's going to be a lot of other people that are going to be interested in it as well. So there isn't really such thing as a niche that has no demand. Just keep that in mind. If the numbers don't look good, but you absolutely love talking about the subject, you should still go into it, in my opinion. Another question I get a lot if I bring up this subject of passion is I don't know what I'm passionate about. And, a lot of people don't. They've just been doing things for a paycheck and they haven't really sat down and thought like, who am I, or like what am I about, what do I truly love, what kind of skills do I have. And a lot of us are really oblivious to this, which makes it hard because you can say, oh, I want to make a bunch of money, but if I told the majority of you, like, hey, what are you great at? What's your passion? A lot of you would probably struggle with it. And there's ways to figure this out. Think about movies that you love. Like, what are your favorite movies? So think about that for a minute. I'm stealing this from Sam Ovens, actually. So you thought about your favorite movies? Okay, great. Whoever the lead role is in that movie is probably someone you see yourself as in some way. So this could be a big hint towards what you are passionate about. Maybe it was some guy that drove a cool car and got lots of babes and stuff, and or some girl that got all the guys. I don't know, but this is a hint. It just says, okay, like this is a movie that you like, and you like because you probably aligned with the main character somehow. Another thing to think about: what do you do in your spare time when you're not getting paid? When you're not clocking in and clocking out and doing that job for the money, what do you do for fun? Think about that. What do you do? What do you like to do? What do you look up? What does your YouTube search history say? If you talk to your friends and family, what do they say you're good at? What do they say you won't shut up about? These are all hints into what you're passionate about and things that you love. I would suggest spending some time doing the research and seeing, okay, what are my things? What are my top three? What keeps coming up? What do people say I won't stop talking about? Take that information and get yourself a calculated guess on what a good niche is for you. Go do the research and make a plan from there. All right. So if you get into a niche and it's something you're into and you are actually happy to work on that, you're a million miles ahead of just about everyone else that gets into business online. And of course, I talk about this through the scope of someone who does publishing, but this applies to any business, in my opinion. Guys, I hope this is helpful. If you have anything you want me to talk about, or you have an opinion that I should be talking about something a bit different, maybe it isn't around publishing, maybe it's more personal development based, maybe it's about travel. Hit me up in the comments. I would love to get your feedback, and I would like to do more videos. I just want to know what you guys want to see. All right. Okay. Thanks so much for watching. Have any questions? Let me know. Peace.